What's going on, guys? Got another comic book haul video for you. Got a nice stack of books here that I picked up at the flea market yesterday. We're doing the Memorial Day weekend flea market at the Kentucky Fairgrounds here in Louisville. It was a little smaller than the Christmas flea market. Only, I think, one of the major wings was open for it, so not very many comic book vendors. I think I got stuff from four vendors, and that was about two other vendors that I didn't buy stuff from, so a little smaller than normal, but still found some good stuff. So go ahead and get started here. Let's see. Most of the stuff is from one vendor. He was a new vendor. This is the first time he'd set up before or since COVID. I was talking to him. He said before COVID he'd set up at flea market and then at conventions too, but he'd taken a break just because he said the cost of like renting trucks and stuff had gone up too much for him. But he had tons of long boxes, probably about 20 or so. They were all dollar books. It was mostly new stuff, some stuff back from the 90s, a couple of Bronze Age stuff that I picked up for Copper Age, a lot of new stuff, like I said, and then he had a couple $3 boxes and then some priced books with some signed Ninja Turtle stuff from the recent series that I actually picked up a couple books from that I'd never seen before. They're store exclusives, which you usually don't get, but these ones were video game covers, so I'm helpless to resist those when they're Ninja Turtles as well. So we'll get to those at the end. Those were more than $1, but we'll start with the dollar books here with this Breed 2 #1 limited edition from Malibu. It's Jim Starlin writing and drawing. Just fun. This is a gold foil cover. Pure 90s goodness there, so I was helpless to resist that. Another foil cover here. This is one of the Ultraverse foils. This is a silver foil. This is the Freaks #1. This is my second of these silver Ultraverse foils. I picked up the prototype one last year. I'd really like to get all these. They did gold foil ones for all of the #1s as well. Those are a little harder to find than the silver ones, but I'll pick those up as well if I ever come across those. So just really happy to find the hologram goodness there. And some non-hologram goodness, some Ninja Turtle stuff. This is Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan #4. It's the mini-series that Matteo Santaluco does the cover here and all the interior art as well. So happy to find that one for $1. A couple of these Saturday morning adventure books. This is number 13 and 14, just done in that cartoon style from the 90s. That's the Ninja Turtles that I grew up with, so very nostalgic and happy to find these whenever I can for cheap. And this one was from the most recent run, or the second to most recent run, I guess, in IDW. This is the one that just finished up. They ended at 150. This is 147. This is the Eastman cover B. And then I also got this Ninja Turtles Alpha. I guess this is kind of like the prequel to the reboot that they are currently on now that Jason Aaron is writing. I haven't read any of those. I've picked up a few of the books from the mini-series that were leading into it, and I know they did Alpha, and I think they did like Mutant Nation, and a couple other ones. I'm not buying any of that stuff new, just because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to find it at vendors like this. They printed a bunch of them, so I don't think they're too rare, so I'm just going to wait until I can find them for cheap. Let's see. Whoop! Breed down. It's alright, it's gold foil, I can handle it. Alright, another Ninja Turtles adjacent book here. This is this Quest for Dreams Lost. It was a fundraiser book for literacy that the Chicago chapter for Chicago Literacy Volunteers of Chicago. So you can see on the cover there, you got one of the Ninja Turtles and then some of the other independent books here. And there's a bunch of different stories in here. The Ninja Turtles one's actually written and drawn by Eastman and Laird, so that's really cool. It's a few-page story about finding Excalibur in a pond in the middle of Central Park. Leonardo jumps in and grabs it, so there's Leonardo grabbing Excalibur. So I don't know if that's canon or not, or whatever happened to that, but this is a fun little book from the 80s that I've never seen before. A couple more Kevin Eastman books here. This is Drawing Blood. This is, I think it's a continuation of the mini-series, or the series that was about 4 or 5 years ago. It's kind of a parody of Eastman creating the Ninja Turtles and then, losing his way as far as, trying to recreate that magic artistically and not knowing what to do after creating such a big, successful franchise. So he does the cover here, and then the interior art's done by, Ben Bishop, who's also an NHL goalie, but probably not the same guy. And then, if you can see, Eastman does the flashback art here, which is kind of cool. So there's a flashback of the main character, talking to a comic creator when he was a kid and showing him his work, and the comic creator being jaded and saying, "You'll get there one day." So it's kind of fun. Another Kevin Eastman joint, this Prime Slime Tales. This is number 1. This is an old Mirage book from the mid to late 80s. It's got a nice wraparound cover here, I'll show you, as most of these Mirage books tended to have. So it's pretty cool. He doesn't do the interior art or anything, just the cover. So I think I'd seen that one place before, but this was actually $3. So all the other books have been $1, but this one was in the $3 pile. All right, more dollar books here. Got some Frank Cho goodness. Not the cover. He does he doesn't even do the interior art. So I picked this one up because it was a Marvel vs. Capcom variant. That's why I grabbed this one. It's got Ryu dragon punching the Hulk there. I thought that was pretty cool. Here's some more Frank Cho goodness. This is Totally Awesome Hulk number 4. He does the cover and all the interior art as well. So I got number 4 and number 5. And then a couple of newer books. Just picked these up based on the covers. Again, cover price on these are $5 and $6. So I'm not going to pay that when they come out normally. So I'll just wait to find these. So Poison Ivy number 22. And then Supergirl Special number 1. Just grab those for the covers. Got some Copper Age goodness here. Some Captain America run fillers for volume 1 here. Got 242, 248, Dragon Man, and then 255. Nice Bucky cover. So that was cool. Happy to find those for cheap and in good condition. Some more run filler here. I got Wolverine number 29. That is not a Silvestri cover, but number 31 here definitely is. I always like that cover. He kind of looks like a werewolf. I guess he's doing his berserker move there, so pretty cool. And then number 32. So pretty good on Wolverine. I think I've got almost 1 through 50 now of his first solo series locked up. So big book I need is number 10. I think that's the one with the first battle of Sabretooth. So still haven't found that one for cheap yet. So hold out for a little longer. Found this New York Comic Book Spectacular 94 convention book. It's a program guide for this Comic-Con in New York in 1994. I don't think it was branded as, official Comic-Con. I don't think they were affiliated with the main Comic-Con out of San Diego yet. But cool thing about this, they did an art auction for Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, and then they they printed some of the original art that the artists had done that they were going to be auctioning off. So there's an Art Adams for Monkey O'Brien. There's Mike Allred with Madman. And then there's a couple other ones. Some Jeff Darrow. There's a good Ren and Stimpy one. And then the one that I was really happy about was a Bruce Timm drawing of Catwoman. That was pretty cool. That's like these program books for stuff like that. You never know what you're going to find. A lot of times these are signed too, because the older ones had books for signatures for artists and the writers and stuff that you take it around and get them to sign. So I always keep an eye out for that stuff. Some Alex Ross doing his best Rob Liefeld impersonation. Thought this was cool. This is Marvel, I guess issue 1? No, issue 4. So it's X-Force and Deadpool there, and as Rob Liefeld imagined them in the 90s and created them, and then Alex Ross doing them in the Rob Liefeld style. So it was really, really cool thing that happened that I was happy to find. Some more 90s goodness here. The Spider-Man interactive comic book. Unfortunately, that sticker is attached to the book, but again, for only $1. And this one, I think, it's got some black and white stuff on there, so you could color it if you wanted to for aspiring comic book artists. And then it's got it's like a little activity book. You got mazes, and then it kind of teaches you how to draw faces and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I think this came with a CD-ROM or something, so it was 96. I was looking them up online. That's when they came out, and they were packaged together with CD-ROMs, I think. So I think there are 2 of these, and this is the second one. The first one had Green Goblin on there. Got a recent book here. This is Marvel Comics Spider-Man Reign 2 issue 3. That is a mouthful. We got Old Man Spider-Man fighting some mutant version of Miles Morales, it looks like. I don't know what's going on here. But the cool thing about this is Kari Andrews, he does the cover here, and he does all the interior art as well, which is really cool. There's him doing Venom. There's some Mary Jane, Eddie Brock. I just really love that Kari Andrews, he's one of my favorite new artists that I've discovered, and he's actually doing interior art on this whole mini-series. He's just came out with I think a Wolverine Deadpool one, or Wolverine Spider-Man, I can't remember. But he's doing the covers, the A covers, and all the interior art on those as well. So really, really happy to find that. Got a Nort's swimsuit edition. Just a cool Adam Hughes cover. And it's basically a cover gallery. Inside there's a fun centerfold with Jen Bartel drawing Poison Ivy. So that's kind of cool. And then they even have the centerfold interview type thing. So yeah, and then there's a cover gallery. Let's see, there's Catwoman 66 with Jeff DeCall cover, Aquaman cover. Kind of looks like Thor or Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth. There's a Harley Frank Cho cover. I think I've got this one, Harley Quinn number 8. So pretty cool. Couple spec books here, some modern stuff. This is Incredible Hulk 6. I think this is the first appearance of whoever that Ghost Rider is on front. I'm not sure. Old West Ghost Rider, I don't know. It goes for about $15, I think. And then this Ghost Rider one with whoever that is on the front. This was hot when because this is their first cover appearance. It was back down to a cover price book. But, I saw it for $1 and recognized it, so I picked it up. Couple Catwoman books here, 81 and 82. These are some, this one especially has a early appearance of Harley Quinn, just on the last panel. She's like a guard at the, wherever Catwoman's being held at a prison. So she's on the cover of 83, I think. That's the more valuable one. Those both go for about $5 or $10, so I just grabbed those. Cool Mega Man book here, John Boy Myers cover, just a Virgin variant for Mega Man Fully Charged. I think this is issue 3. Let's see, is this John Boy 2? Yep. Another John Boy Myers cover for Transformers number 4. This is the current run, and this is fun because it's a nice wraparound. I just like the pose that Prime was in. That's why I grabbed it. It reminded me of the movie, the animated movie, that opening scene when he comes in and transforms from the truck into his robot form. He just kind of jumps and launches. He's in that pose, so I thought that was really cool. Quantum Leap number 2, one of my favorite shows of all time. I think this is the first book that I've got out. I see these sometimes, but they're always either really beat up or people are wanting like $5 and $10 for them. And I see them enough in the dollar bins that are beat up that I was kind of sure I could find them in better shape eventually. So happy to find number 2. Got Alan Sam there. Oh boy. And then a fun Rocket Raccoon cover, homage to the Nirvana Nevermind album. He's kind of, instead of in water, he's floating in space there, chasing after a Thanos buck or whatever. And the last dollar book is G.I. Joe number 11. Just grabbed this one. I like the cover, and I recently picked up a whole bunch of G.I. Joe books from the Image and IDW runs at a dollar sale. I haven't put those on a video yet, but I'm probably just going to start picking up all the G.I. Joe books from those older runs when I can find them for cheap. So that's why I grabbed that. All right, so that's all the dollar books from that vendor, and then here are the two Ninja Turtle books that I got. These are black, white, and green. So let's see. It's kind of got the character select screen from that looks like the old arcade game here. So let's see. These are from SMZ Comics. So this first one, it's all the turtles, and that one's actually signed by Kevin Eastman. So that's pretty cool. Usually I don't like signed books, but the signature doesn't obscure any of the art. That's why I don't like them signed usually. But this one you can see everything. So that's really cool. And then we got the villains as well. And then that's the artist, I believe, is Eddie Nunez. So his signature kind of obscures Krang a little bit, but not too much. So it's really cool. Homages to the old side-scrolling beat-em-up that I spent a lot of time and money on. So those were, so all the dollar books ended up being $35 books, and then he gave me these two for $35 total. So it was $70 at that one vendor. So these were about, I guess, $17 each, $17.50 each. So that's probably enough. I think I saw them going online for like $10 or $20, and then the signatures, make up the difference. One of the new vendors I picked up a couple of Moon Knight books here for $4 each. Got number 10 and number 11, just run filler for the Moon Knight run. And then I got about 12 more dollar books from one of the other vendors. Got a fun G.I. Jackrabbits homage to G.I. Joe number 1. Just a fun parody book. Skeleton Warriors number 2. This was a cartoon from the 90s that I enjoyed. I have number 1, so I think this was the first time I'd seen number 2. I'm not sure how long it went, but I'll grab those if I can find them in good condition. Youngblood number 1. This is from the 2017 volume. This is number 1. It's a good Rob Liefeld cover. Cover B of this Transformers Visionaries crossover. Two toy franchises from the 80s that I enjoyed playing with, so I was happy to find that. More Transformers here. Number 1, cover B of Ironhide. Ironhide does not look like the Ironhide from Generation 1. He kind of does. His face is a little off, I guess. He kind of looks more like, I don't know. Doesn't look like iron. It kind of looks like plaster, actually, with the front of his chest there. Could be a boombox, but I don't know. For $1, I'll grab it. Got a Batman Gallery book here. Grab this one because it's Joe Quesada cover. And then, as was his wont back in the day, they are mostly wraparounds, so can't go wrong with that. And this is just a gallery of classic Batman covers. Like you got the original Bob Kane for Detective 31, and then the homage from Neil Adams from, what was that, Batman 227. And then the other one I liked in here is the McFarlane cover. What is that, 423? So I don't have any of those books, obviously, but I got the covers now, so that's pretty cool. Got another Quantum Leap book here. This is number 13, and you can see the title trade dress is kind of shimmery and foily. Can't go wrong with that. Star Trek Voyage Home. This is the adaptation of the 4th movie, one of my favorites. I think this is I saw the 5th one was the first one I'd seen in theaters, but the 4th one I've probably seen the most times, 4 and 6. And of course there is Chekhov talking about the nuclear vessels. It doesn't have him asking about the nuclear vessels, but he does talk about them at least. Getting close here, got Superman 75, Death Superman. This is the 3rd print newsstand. just try to find all the variants to that as I can. Just happy to find that. Superman shiny foil goodness here. It's an Ed McGuinness cover for 166. Apparently this is the collector's edition. The main cover does not have the foil, which I did not know. I wouldn't have got it if it didn't have the foil, but since it had the foil, I was helpless to resist. And Fury #1, also foil cover. Does not really picking up too well on the camera, but trust me, it is there. It's the only reason I got it. And then last one is Chromium Rob Liefeld. You cannot get more 90s than that. This is Glory and Evangeline, and yes, that's a nice wraparound cover as well. So shiny, so good. Alright guys, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed the haul, and I hope you all have a happy Memorial Day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.